Welcome, Shadow Seekers, to American Shadows, Crimes and Chronicles. Today, we're unearthing a tale that'll haunt your thoughts long after it ends. Whether you're glued to the screen or just listening in, you're in for a wild ride through history's darkest corners. If you're new, hit subscribe to join our mission of exposing America's hidden truths. Regulars, your likes fuel our journey into the unknown. Now, let's peel back the layers of time and reveal the secrets beneath. Ready? Let's begin. Blood in the Streets, how a $300 fee ignited the deadliest riot in American history. Gather round, folks, because today we're plunging into a tale of chaos, anger, and upheaval that rocked the very foundations of America's largest city. This is the story of the New York City Draft Riots, which erupted on July 13, 1863, a moment when the streets of Manhattan became a battleground and the soul of a nation at war with itself was laid bare for all to see. Picture this. It's a sweltering July in 1863. The Civil War is raging, tearing the country apart, and President Abraham Lincoln's government is desperate for more troops to fight the Confederacy. On March 3, 1863, they passed the Enrollment Act, kickstarting the first federal draft in American history. All men aged 20 to 45 are now eligible for conscription. But here's the kicker. Those who can afford it can pay $300 to hire a substitute or buy their way out. That's about $7,000 in today's money, a fortune for the working class folks of New York City. This rich man's exemption strikes a raw nerve in a city already divided by class and racial tensions. New York is a melting pot, teeming with Irish immigrants who fled famine only to find themselves living in squalor, competing for the lowest paying jobs. They're being asked to fight and die in a war they feel doesn't benefit them, while the wealthy can simply write a check to avoid service. As dawn breaks on July 13th, a powder keg of resentment is about to explode. A crowd of angry working-class New Yorkers, many of them Irish immigrants, gathers outside the draft office on 3rd Avenue. The atmosphere is electric, charged with frustration and fear. When the first names are drawn from the draft wheel, that spark of anger ignites into a raging inferno of violence. What follows is 5 days of unrestrained mayhem that will shock the nation. The rioters, their numbers swelling to an estimated 50,000 at the peak, target symbols of the war effort and the Republican establishment. They storm police stations, torch the homes of wealthy citizens, and even burn down an orphanage for black children. The city's police force, numbering only about 1,500 and led by the overwhelmed Superintendent John Kennedy, is outgunned and outnumbered. But the most chilling aspect of the riots is the racial violence that erupts. Many rioters, blaming African Americans for the war and for taking their jobs, turn their fury on black New Yorkers. Innocent men are lynched in the streets, homes and businesses are burned, and a reign of terror descends upon the city's African American communities. The horror of these actions sends shockwaves through the city and the nation. As the violence escalates, the authorities realize they're in over their heads. Governor Horatio Seymour, a Democrat sympathetic to the rioters' grievances, tries to calm the mob with speeches, but to no avail. Finally, they call in the military, soldiers fresh from the bloody fields of Gettysburg, to restore order. The federal troops arrive on July 16th. And what follows is brutal street fighting that sees the use of artillery and bayonets on American soil against American citizens. When the smoke finally clears on July 17th, the toll is staggering. Over 100 people lie dead, though many historians believe the true number to be far higher. Millions of dollars in property damage have left parts of the city in ruins. The riots have exposed deep-seated racial and economic divisions, leaving a scar on the city that will take years to heal. But the story doesn't end there, folks. In the aftermath, the draft was temporarily suspended in New York City, only to resume in August under heavy military guard. The federal government made concessions, lowering quota requirements for the city. However, the riots had far-reaching impacts on New York City and the nation as a whole. They laid bare the need for more equitable social policies and showed the devastating effects of economic disparity and racial tension. For the African American community, the riots were a stark reminder of their precarious position in society. Despite the eventual abolition of slavery, the road to equality would be long and fraught with danger. Many black New Yorkers left the city in the wake of the riots, seeking safer havens elsewhere. Politically, the riots boosted the Democratic Party in New York, which had opposed the war and the draft. The events highlighted the complex nature of Northern politics during the Civil War and influenced the delicate balance between civil liberties and national security. As we reflect on the New York City draft riots of 1863, we're reminded of the volatile mix of poverty, prejudice, and politics that can drive a society to the brink. This story is a powerful testament to the importance of addressing the underlying causes of social unrest. It's a lesson from history that resonates even today, as we continue to grapple with issues of inequality and justice in our own time. So, as you ponder this tale, remember the lives lost and the lessons learned. The draft riots were a dark chapter in America's story, but they also offer us valuable insights into the challenges we face and the paths we must tread to build a more just and equitable society. This is American Shadows, where we explore the depths of our history to illuminate the present and guide us toward a better future. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and remember, the echoes of the past are always with us if we only take the time to listen.